Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and whoever else or whatever else is watching this, you never know. There could be some little alien out there in space watching this. Maybe a dog or your cat back there, your fucking pet turtle, your fish, whoever the fuck. It is officially fight week for this Misfits Prime card. So it's prediction time. I know some of you guys have been waiting for this moment. So let's get into these fights. Let's get down to the nitty gritty. And I'm going to pick who I think is going to win each fight. And I need to pick an upset fight. And as we all know, your boy is from the future, so I'm going to get all these right. Come on now, I'm always right. All right, so the first fight, battle of the big boys, we got SX versus DTG. I think DTG, the guy's more experienced. He has fights. He lost to Halal, but, even going in there and fighting someone as experienced as Halal, that's some really, really good experience for him. So I'm taking him this fight. And the next fight, we got Astrid taking on Alexia Grace. So this one is a little bit tricky because haven't really seen Alexia Grace. She did look good on the mitts, but let's be real, they all look good on the mitts. The fight is a completely different thing. And especially coming from Astrid, all that technique, all that mitt work, all that head movement, it just goes out the window. Astrid just goes to fight. So I think I'm picking Astrid this one. I just think Alexia Grace doesn't have that dog in her. And we've seen Astrid she's got that dog. She's willing to trade. She's willing to stand there. She's willing to take some damage. She gets bloodied up, a bloody nose, gets black eyes, all of that. And she still comes forward and throws shots. And she's got a pretty good gas tank. So I think that's going to be the big factor is who tires out first, similar to Astrid's last fight. Swarms versus Ryan Taylor 2, man. This fight, honestly, could be much higher on a regular card. But it's on the prelims because this card is stacked. So this fight, I'm going with Swarms. Ryan Taylor has been very, very inactive. I don't think Swarms is going to get him out early or as quick as he did the last time. Definitely not. But I definitely am rocking with Swarms. He's been looking better and better each and every fight. And arguably, he could have won that Survivor Tag match. And Nick LMAO is a pretty solid guy, a pretty solid fighter. So, Swarms arguably could have won that against him. And Swarms, honestly, was getting the better out of everyone in there. Swarms was actually hurting people, landing combinations, landing shots, being the aggressor. So I'm rocking with Swarms in this fight. I think Ryan Taylor has something to prove, so he's going to be a lot tougher. But I definitely think Swarms is going to take home the win. Next up, for the Misfits Heavyweight Championship, it is Chase Damore and Tempo Arts. So this one is going to be a little bit weird. I am picking Tempo Arts to win this one, just purely based on the fact that Chase Damore is just so fucking goofy. He's just so goofy in there. It's so entertaining to watch. And I'm genuinely surprised he's fighting for the heavyweight championship. But Tempo Arts coming off of a really nice knockout. So I'm rocking with Tempo Arts here. I don't know. I don't think he'll be able to get Chase Damore up out of there because Chase, he'll probably embarrass himself running around or something or doing some twirly shit like Swarms did against KSI. Then we got the tag team fight between Alex Wasabi and Nick LMAO versus Luis Pineda and B-Dave. For fights like this, you really need more of a strategy. And I think a strategy is much more beneficial than the actual fighters themselves, in my opinion. I'm rocking with Alex Wasabi and Nick LMAO for this one. I think both guys are just too good for Pineda and B-Dave. Honestly, I think Alex Wasabi is better than Nick LMAO. And I think Nick LMAO is better than Pineda. And Pineda is the better half of him and B-Dave. Pineda and Nick LMAO would be a good matchup themselves. But I think B-Dave is the outlier here. I just don't think B-Dave has the skills. But he can change that because he throws bombs. So don't get it twisted. He can change that in an instant. But skills-wise, I just gotta go with Alex Wasabi and Nick LMAO. Winterson Nunes and my mate Nate. Both guys really got something to prove in this fight. So I think this is going to be a lot better than what people might be expecting. Both guys got completely embarrassed by King Kenny. So I think they're really coming to this fight, with something to prove. And they're going to put on a show. And especially from Winterson Nunes' end, which is why I'm rocking with him. He had a very disappointing outing that last outing. And I think he's really going to want to put on a show and make up for that last fight. So I'm going Winterson Nunes by knockout. Now we move on to the 5 fights you all are most excited for. King Kenny versus Anthony Taylor kicks this off. And wow, what a fight. For this fight, I think King Kenny. I like King Kenny. I think Anthony Taylor's going to tire out. I think King Kenny's going to keep him off him. I think King Kenny's going to outbox him. And I don't know. I think it's going to go to the judges' scorecards. And I think if it goes to the scorecards, I favor King Kenny. If there's a knockout, I favor Anthony Taylor. But I don't think Anthony Taylor is going to be as aggressive. I think he is from the beginning, like always. But I think he's going to tire out. And I think King Kenny, that ring generalship, he's going to be practicing it, training it this entire time leading up to this fight. So I think King Kenny's going to come into this pretty on point, and he's probably got a lot of training partners that are just coming forward on him, bull rushing him. So I think his preparation is going to show in this fight. So I'm rocking with King Kenny to win this one by decision. Salt Papy versus Slim. This is another banger, man. I can't wait for this fight. Arguably could be a main event of a pay-per-view, to be honest. This is a huge fight. And this is going to be my upset. I'm going with Slim. I know a lot of people think Salt Papy's got this. But to be honest, after watching the tape, I'm going with Slim. I think he's going to make this fight dirty. Should he make this fight dirty, I think he can get it done. Salt Papy, although he has the technique on him and he has the size advantage, he has the power, he tired out. Like, let's be real. In that fight with Anthony Taylor, it was only 4 rounds. He tired out too. He was sucking in wind at the end of that. Yeah, nowhere near as much as Anthony Taylor. If Slim can take the fight to Salt Papy and tire him out and make this a brawl, I think Slim can really put that pressure on it, really take it to him, and really win this fight. I really think so. So even though, stylistically wise, I think it favors Salt Papy, but I think if Slim fights the right fight, I think he can definitely get this done. Next up, the rematch between Dean the Great and Wally Sharks. I expect another really, really great fight. But in this one, I'm going with Wally Sharks. He dominated the last one. He just ended up getting caught. I think Wally is the more polished fighter. I think he's the more technical fighter. I think Dean the Great still has some defensive issues that are still going to come up in the fight. He might not have those issues in training, but as we see from each and every fight, he continuously comes up to these issues. He continuously has these huge openings that someone like Wally Sharks can very, very easily exploit. So I think Wally Sharks is going to take this one. But I'm expecting another toe-to-toe, back and forth war between these guys. This is going to be a very fun fight. In our co-main event, Logan Paul versus Dillon Danis, I hinted that this fight is going to go one way or the other. And what I think is it's either going to be a very close fight, but I think Logan Paul is going to pull it out, or Logan Paul is just going to completely dominate this fight. I do not think Logan will KO or TKO Dillon Danis. I don't think so. I don't think Logan possesses the power. I think he throws good combinations. I think he stays a little tight, and the way he's more muscly and bulked up now, I think he's going to be super tight in there. I think he's going to tire out quick, but I just think the size advantage is just going to pose too many problems for Dillon Danis. I think Logan, when he tires out, he's going to stick on that jab and stay away from any type of danger. And I think Logan will win this on the scorecards, whether it's close or one-sided. Regardless, I think Logan takes this one. And the main event of the evening, KSI taking on Tommy Fury. This fight is what's really, really tricky because this is your stylistically boxer versus puncher. KSI definitely has the power behind him, has put people away early and quick, hasn't even gone past the second round, so we still don't really know what to expect, which is good on his side. Since he hasn't gone past the second round, if we don't know what to expect, neither is Tommy and his team. Going into this fight with a mystery, with not a whole bunch of film on this guy, it's going to be a little bit tougher than someone like Jake Paul, who you have plenty of film on, has gone the distance multiple times. You know he tires out. But someone like KSI, you just don't know. So this is going to be a lot tougher a fight for Tommy Fury than the Jake Paul fight was. Plus, stylistically, KSI, he's not afraid. He's not going to be gun shy like someone like Jake Paul was. He's not going to shy away from the fight. So I think this is going to be a really good one, but I'm leaning towards Tommy Fury. I think KSI is going to have a really hard time getting inside. I think Tommy is just going to, utilize the fundamentals, a lot of 1-2s. I do not expect he's going to have that same strategy that he had with Jake Paul. Expect a lot of jabs, a lot of double jabs, triple jabs, right hand, straight right hands. I don't really anticipate any hooks. Just a lot of straight shots from Tommy Fury and a lot of clinching. to try to maybe wear KSI down, tire him out, and wear those legs out a little bit too, so KSI can't really push off of him and get inside like he wants to. I think Tommy is just, going to be too lanky, too big, and I think he'll win this on the scorecards. But of course, who doesn't love a good underdog story? So I'll be rooting for KSI. As always, thank you all so much for the support. Let me know in the comment section who you rocking with, what you agree with, what you disagree with. Who are you picking for these big fights? I know you guys are all excited. It's finally going down this Saturday. Don't forget to tune in this Saturday for the live stream. Let's enjoy some fights and have a good time. Thank you all so much for the support as always, and I'll catch you in the next video.